Samsung might not be reinventing the wheel with the Galaxy S26, but this one small change fixes one of its most annoying, long-standing problems. And honestly, it's about time. The base Galaxy S26 is finally moving to 256 gigabytes of storage, and that single upgrade quietly makes it a much better phone than last year's model. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. This matters more than it sounds. Storage isn't a flashy spec. It doesn't sell phones on posters or keynote slides, but it directly affects how long you can comfortably use your phone before running into limits. And for years, Samsung's entry-level flagship was stuck at 128 gigabytes, a number that made sense back when apps were smaller and videos weren't eating gigabytes per minute. Now, according to a leaked retailer listing from Finland, Samsung is set to ship the standard Galaxy S26 with 256 gigabytes as the base option. No paid upgrade required just to get usable storage. That puts Samsung in line with Apple, which already moved the base iPhone 17 to 256 gigabytes. If this leak holds, and it looks pretty solid, it's one of the most practical upgrades the Galaxy S lineup has seen in a while. Let's talk about why 128 gigabytes just doesn't cut it anymore. We're living in a 4K world now. Phones shoot high bitrate video by default. Photos are larger thanks to higher resolution sensors and aggressive HDR processing. Apps are heavier, games regularly cross 10 gigabytes, and that's before you even factor in offline downloads, cached media, or system storage. On a premium phone, 128 gigabytes fills up fast. You don't feel it on day one, but 6 months in, you're deleting videos, clearing caches, or paying for extra cloud storage just to keep things running smoothly. For a device that costs flagship money, that compromise never really made sense. Samsung already knew this. The Galaxy S25 Plus and S25 Ultra moved past 128 gigabytes a while ago. The base model was the last holdout. This Galaxy S26 change feels less like a bold decision and more like a correction, fixing something that should have been done years ago. The leak doesn't just mention storage either. It also confirms color options across the S26 lineup. According to the retailer listing, the Galaxy S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra will share 4 main colors: black, white, sky blue, and cobalt violet. Clean, safe options. Very Samsung. There were earlier leaks suggesting silver shadow and pink gold for the Ultra, but those could be online exclusives or region-specific colors that simply didn't show up in this particular listing. That part isn't unusual. What's more interesting is why this change is happening now. Competition played a huge role. Apple set the tone by moving the base iPhone 17 to 256 gigabytes. Once that happened, Samsung keeping 128 gigabytes on a flagship would have looked increasingly outdated. Even Google is expected to follow suit with the Pixel 11 after launching the Pixel 10 series at 128 gigabytes. So yes, this is partly Samsung responding to pressure, but from a user perspective, the reason doesn't matter nearly as much as the result. For everyday use, 256 gigabytes just feels right. You don't have to think about storage constantly. You can record longer videos, download playlists, keep apps installed, and not worry about hitting a wall a year down the line. Cloud storage is great, but it shouldn't be a requirement just to use your phone comfortably. Personally, I see this as one of the most meaningful Galaxy S26 upgrades so far, even more than minor camera tweaks or performance bumps. It doesn't change how the phone looks, it changes how stress-free it is to live with. Samsung isn't reinventing its flagship formula this year, but by finally killing off 128 gigabytes on the base model, it's fixing a real everyday pain point. And sometimes that's exactly the kind of upgrade that matters most. If the Galaxy S26 really does launch with 256 gigabytes across the board, it sets a new baseline, and it makes the vanilla Galaxy feel far less compromised than before. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.